Now, as we know, people usually talk to communicate. I'm doing it right now, after all. And the thing about speech and talking is that it's an application of sound. Speech travels in a sound wave toward your ear or toward a microphone, and that gets translated into electricity or into electrical signals for your brain to interpret, and they're eventually figured out into words and sentences and structures and that sort of thing. So we can see that without sound waves, we can't make that initial communication. So we can't pick up the words or the sentence or anything. So right away we can see that sound is a pretty important part of our lives most of the time. So what is sound? Well, using the terms that we've learned about before, I can tell you that it's a longitudinal mechanical wave. That means that the particles vibrate in the same direction as the wave travels, and mechanical means that they're doing it by colliding with each other, as opposed to interacting with, electric fields or something like that. So it's transmitted by the collision of particles in the medium, and that's usually air particles. So sound travels through air most of the time. So the wave can be thought of as a series of compressions of air particles. So because the particles are vibrating in the same direction as the wave is traveling, there will be some parts of the wave where the particles are close together and some where they are far apart. That's a feature of all longitudinal waves. While scuba diving underwater, a diver hears a loud noise coming from a few hundred meters away. Which is true? The sound travels more quickly than if it were traveling through air. The sound travels more slowly than if it were traveling through air. The sound travels at exactly the same speed as if it were traveling through air. Or the sound would be inaudible if it were traveling through air. Inaudible, of course, means not hearable, so it cannot be heard. So which of these makes the most sense? Well, we know that sound will travel more quickly through a liquid than through a gas, right? Water is a liquid, air is a gas. So that means that if we hear a sound where both the source and the receiver are underwater, then the sound will always be traveling through water. And that means that the sound will travel more quickly than through air. So A is the correct answer.